What's happening with Declan Rice? Declan Rice is the football player that we are definitely talking about today. A lot has been said and a lot has been done when it comes to Declan Rice, with knowing that a lot, or actually lots of bids have been in for Declan Rice. Who is taking Declan Rice? Is he coming to Arsenal? Has he signed for Arsenal? Has he signed for another club? Let's us get into this. It is the number one training show right about here at the Arsenal chapter. Hello, everyone, and thank you for being part of the Arsenal chapter. And make sure to subscribe and ring that notification bell so that you do not miss out on whatever we've got to bring to you, as long as it is sports and as long as it is Arsenal related, right about here at the Arsenal chapter with me, your host, Abu Carls. We're definitely talking about Declan Rice. So, Declan Rice, you will remember that Declan Rice is one of the best defensive midfielders the Premier League definitely has. He's been the captain, captains the West Ham team, West Ham club, and also has been playing as a defensive midfielder for the English national team. You will remember that Declan Rice has been on the hunt for by many clubs, actually. Very many clubs have been interested in Declan Rice. Bayern Munich saying they want Declan Rice. Paris Saint-Germain coming out and saying a few things about Declan Rice. Manchester City, Manchester United, Arsenal, Chelsea. Where is Declan Rice going? Right about now, you definitely have the right information. It's going to be bringing it to you straight. So, before we go any further, you can go into the comment section and let me know. Let us know your opinion on this transfer. Do you think it's taking too long? Do you think Declan Rice transfer is taking too long? Do you think he should be at the club Arsenal, or he should be? He shouldn't be. Anyway, as we've been talking about Declan Rice, as we definitely concentrating on Declan Rice today, it will be remember that Declan Rice, he's had a few bids in. West Ham said they need 100 million pounds for Declan Rice, and undoubtedly, 100, actually it's 120 they said, but they started with 120, saying 120 million pounds is what West Ham needs for Declan Rice, and everybody said that's quite a bit of money. That's a lot of money for Declan Rice. We know he's a very good football player, talented football player, but that's a lot of money, and it should be, for some reason, it should be negotiable. And we've had bids coming in. We've seen bids going in for Declan Rice, with Arsenal submitting three bids, and all the three bids that Arsenal has submitted have been rejected. And that hasn't been good. And right about now, the fact that Declan Rice is a hot cake, it's not Arsenal that is interested only. With the likes of Manchester United, Manchester United had actually its bid is really different, with Manchester United saying they're giving two football players. That's Scott McTominay and leaving alone Scott McTominay, Harry Maguire, two football players for Declan Rice, and also adding in a bit of money. To be honest, that's a bit of a juicy deal in there. But the thing is it worth? And the thing also, the question to ask is Declan Rice willing to get this move, get to Manchester United? And then before we even know, Manchester City comes and says they definitely need to replace Ilke Gundogan, who's left the club. Ilke Gundogan left, and possibly he's signed for something like Barcelona or somewhere. And he's left Manchester City. And right about now, they are in a panic of getting a defensive midfielder. And the target they are looking at is Declan Rice. So the question is it game over for Arsenal? Is Declan Rice going to Arsenal? Is it game over, really? That's something that we need to understand. That's something we need to know in this in this podcast. It will be remembered that if your sources have come out and said Arsenal has pulled out of this transfer. So what does this really mean? Arsenal has tried to make sure that they can get Declan Rice for quite a long period of time, but things haven't gone as planned. Things have not gone quite well as planned. But still, I can confirm to you that Arsenal is still in this transfer. There are very many. Actually there's quite a lot of chance, big chance that Arsenal is that Declan Rice is going to end up at the club Arsenal, because when you see Manchester United, it's not where Declan Rice would really love to go. He's not been that linked to the club Manchester United, even though there is something. There is even though there is a big deal coming in, even when there is something big coming in, talking about Declan Rice and his move to Manchester United. We remember that it's not his thing. He's not very interested in the move to Manchester United, and he's not even been linked to Manchester United. And uh, it just came all of the sudden, just like even as Manchester City. Sometimes the football player's opinion also matters. It doesn't. It's not about the money, though. When the money is really available, there are big chances also that the football player could be moving to a certain club, even if it were out of their wish. So I think it could be a bit complicated, and I think it could be difficult. But right about now, as stands, it is complicated. It's quite complicated for any club that is interested in Declan Rice because, to be honest and to be fair, there is no one who is 100% sure about Declan Rice's future, not even himself, because this is a transfer that has been making rounds over and over, with every big club falling in place saying they definitely need Declan Rice. And we're probably actually by the beginning of the season, before the beginning of the season, actually, or of the transfer season, before at the beginning of the transfer window, Declan Rice was being valued at around 70, 75 million pounds. But I came out and said, with all this talent that Declan Rice has, the fact that he is a very good defensive midfielder, and there is a lot of scarcity of defensive midfielders in the Premier League, you're not going to get a good defensive midfielder like him. I said his price is definitely going to increase, and that's what we've seen over time. From something like 70 to 75 just a few months ago, and right about now, if you do not have 100 million pounds, you stand no chance whatsoever of signing Declan Rice. If you've not got 100 million pound or a deal that is worth 100 million pound, you stand no chance whatsoever. Because looking at the fact that 80 million pound bid was rejected, and that was Arsenal had a 72 million pound deal, and that was Nicolas Pepe, and that was the record. That's the Arsenal biggest record. And saying that they're having an extra 8 million pound, you can see how Arsenal's been willing to take an extra mile when it comes to the Declan Rice transfer. And as if that was not enough, when he was rejected, second bid that was said to be around 90 million pound also rejected. So definitely you can see things have not been rolling quite well for the club Arsenal. But there is still possibility, there is still big chance. There is still a very big chance that Declan Rice is going to end up at the club Arsenal. Though there is a lot of competition, there is tight competition, there is very, very tight competition. But even when the links are very strong for Declan Rice to the club Arsenal, this has happened before. This happened with Mikhail Mudryk, the Shakhtar Donetsk football player, now Chelsea football player. When Mikhail Mudryk was a Shakhtar Donetsk, Arsenal scouts found him, and he was all over the media that he was going to Arsenal, with even him going to his socials and saying, I'm going to Arsenal. And we thought, yeah, he always liked everything about Arsenal, and everybody was like, yeah, that is definitely the thing. That's the definite thing. That's what needs to be done. And all of a sudden, Chelsea comes and hijacks the football player. So it's a bit complicated. It could be the same situation with Declan Rice. So if Arsenal is really in need of Declan Rice, 100%, I'm very sure that Arsenal has 105 million pounds. Very sure. Even 120. If Arsenal need a football player, then if they need Declan Rice, then let them play. Arsenal should pay that amount of money and get him because Declan Rice is willing to go to Arsenal 100%. It's the money that's putting Arsenal down. But I will remember that some football players have been bought by clubs at very big amounts of money, and they have also left these clubs at a very amount of money. Having said that, looking at like the side like I was talk about maybe Manchester United's Harry Maguire was bought around 80 million pound, and right about now he costs around 40 million pound or less, slightly less than that. So you can see also asking me to put that into consideration. This might be a deal to walk away. Do you think it should be anyway? I'm not so sure whether Arsenal should walk away from this transfer because it's becoming a lot. There's quite a lot of drama going on when it comes to this transfer. But let's hope that everything goes on quite well and Arsenal will make this transfer, will get this boy, will get this superstar, as they are not showing any signs of letting go of the Declan Rice Arsenal transfer. Otherwise, thank you for being part of the Arsenal chapter and make a point subscribe and ring that notification bell so you do not miss it on whatever we've got to bring to you as long as it is sports and as long as it is Arsenal related. Right about here and the Arsenal chapter with me, your host, Abu Carl. Just thank you and goodbye for now.